Inspection of equipment. Inspection of fall arrest equipment is a key safety component. Inspections must take place prior to each use and annually by a trained qualified person. Written records approving the harness for continued use should be retained for due diligence purposes. Harness inspection. The following areas of the harness must be inspected prior to each use: nylon straps and webbing, D-ring and shoulder pads, buckles, buckle tongue attachment, grommets, friction buckles. Nylon straps and webbing should be grasped with both hands and bent in an inverted U, making defects easier to see. Pay attention to broken fibers, cut stitches, frays, burn holes, and chemical corrosion. Do this to both sides of the webbing. D-rings must move freely and not have any cracks or breaks, sharp or rough edges. Shoulder and back pads should not have any cracks, breaks, or twisting. Buckles should be free of pitting and corrosion, move freely, and retain their shape. Tongues should seat properly and move freely in the frame. If the harness is equipped with grommets, they should not be warped, distorted, or broken. The tongue containing the grommets should not have any additional punched holes. Friction buckles should not be pitted or corroded. The outer bars and center bars must be straight. Lanyard and hardware inspection. Lanyards and hardware, such as locking snaps and carabiners, must be checked prior to each use. The inspection can be broken down into the following areas: locking snaps, thimbles, lanyard and shock absorber. Locking snaps must be checked for cracking and corrosion. The latch should remain firmly seated in its keeper. The edge of the thimble should not have any burrs, distortion, or sharp edges. The thimble must be firmly seated in the eye of the splice, and the splice should not have any cut strands. When inspecting the lanyard, the webbing should be stretched over a smooth cylindrical object, revealing any cuts, breaks, chemical damage, burns, or broken stitching. Self-retracting device inspection. Inspection of this device can be broken down in 3 areas: housing, lifeline, braking. The housing must be inspected for loose fasteners, distortion, and malfunctioning parts. The lifeline should be pulled out several feet to test the tension. It should retract freely and check for cuts, corrosion, kinks, frays, and wearing. Braking can be tested by pulling the lifeline downward, which will engage the brake. Check to see that there is no slippage while the brake is engaged and that the lifeline returns freely once tension is released.